Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Craft Tube, Talk Tube. I don't know what we're doing. I'm Kayla and I appreciate you stopping by to visit today. Come on in, grab yourself something to drink, a snack, or a project to work on, and just work on your project while I chat and just talk about what's going on with me. And I appreciate you being here. You look great today, by the way. I like those pajamas you have on. Yeah, I'm just being silly. I tell you, I just have a lot going on, and yeah, I don't know where to begin. So, first off, let me just say, I feel like I'm starting to get sick. Now, I know I was just in ICU in the hospital, but I wasn't sick. I really wasn't. I tried to explain that to people. I wasn't sick. I didn't know I was sick. You think with pneumonia, you're coughing and, stuffy, and you're just dealing with, a lot of sickness. I was not. I felt bad. I felt like I do every day of my life. I didn't feel no worse or no sicker. Today, I wake up, my head's stuffy, I'm coughing. I feel a little bit of maybe wheezing some. I wasn't sick this whole time, and today I feel like I'm getting so sick. My head feels hot and stuffy. I feel like I'm kind of floating, lightheaded. Now, you make sense of that. I don't know. It don't make any sense to me. You'd think I went in the hospital on last Thursday. You would think the days before that, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you'd think I'd have been sick, but I wasn't. Even Thursday, the only reason why I went to the hospital was because I couldn't breathe and I turned blue. That's the only reason why I went to the hospital. If that hadn't happened, I would not have went, and I would have continued on having pneumonia and sepsis because I didn't have symptoms. So anyway, today I feel like crap. I feel horrible. I feel like I'm just getting so sick. But the show goes on. Life continues. Life don't stop just because you don't feel good. If that was the case, then I would never do anything. I would never accomplish nothing. I would never have a video. I would never do anything because that's my life. When you have chronic illnesses, that's your life. All right, enough about that. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I had plans for December. I knew, I was going to work on some different Christmas themed stuff and just... Yeah, I had it planned. I was going to wear my Christmas sweater and I had plans. They're not happening. I don't even feel like going back there to get my Christmas sweater. I don't feel like crocheting. I have my Woobles Advent house over here. I have not even opened it. It's still in the brown box. I don't feel like opening it. I don't feel like crocheting. But I'm going to be doing something, okay? I don't feel like reading a pattern, following instructions, and making something turn out like it's supposed to look. I feel like just putting some watercolor paint on a piece of paper and it turns out ever how it turns out, because there's no right way or wrong way to do it. And ever how it turns out is how it turns out. That's what I feel like doing. And so, therefore, I'm going to be doing a lot of that. Anyway, let me just tell you, I got a lot on my mind. I've got 4 different situations that are constantly on my mind, and people say don't worry about it, but you can't help but worry about if it's major stuff. 3 of them I'm not even going to talk about. I can't talk about. One of them is insurance. Okay, so now I know. When the doctor came to my room when I was in the hospital, she came to my room Monday. she said something about insurance and codes, and I'm not sure what all she said because I wasn't listening, paying a close enough attention. Now, I wish I knew what she said, because last night I got a phone call from Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they said, they was asking me, someone to talk to me about my medical care. And I said, well, I don't have Blue Cross Blue Shield anymore. And she's like, okay, let me look. And then she said, okay, I see where your insurance ended September the 30th. And you will start back with a new policy on January the 1st, 2026. I'm like, okay. Where Big Daddy works, they don't have an employee there that's doing insurance or billing, or payroll or anything like that. They are paying these companies, probably out the wazoo, a lot of money to handle that. They're paying somebody they're like in Baton Rouge or somewhere that's doing their payroll, and then another company that's doing their insurance is supposed to be handling up all the insurance. Well, somehow or another, our insurance ended, and for the whole month of October, we did not have insurance. And so Elijah actually tried to use insurance, and so Big Daddy checked on that, and he came back and said some bull stuff. Some stuff that did not make sense to me, and I'm like, well, that wouldn't even matter. The reasoning he was given, I said, that don't make sense. That wouldn't even matter. That doesn't add up. And he's like, yeah. And he tried to explain it again, like I'm stupid. And I'm just like, no, I don't think that's the way it is. And he's like, I talked to the insurance guy, and that's what he told me. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. But I was trying to let Big Daddy handle it. It's through his job. He don't need his mama to go behind him and do everything, or he shouldn't. But obviously he does. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. It's the sickness talking, okay? But, so, he worked on that, talking with him. In October, when it was Elijah, he had all these excuses and reasons why. But then he was trying to get his medication, and insurance wasn't covering it. And so they said we didn't have coverage. And he's like, oh, yeah, we do. Something just happened and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that same excuse you gave for Elijah don't work for us, because our son Elijah's still on our insurance until the end of this year. He's already gotten insurance through his company, but right now he has 2 insurances. And so anyway, they kept trying to get the insurance right, and therefore he wasn't getting his prescriptions filled because he's waiting on insurance to, whatever. And so then, finally I was like, we just got to get your medication. We can't not get it. We have to go get it, even though insurance isn't paying on it. So we went and paid full price for his insulin and stuff, and yeah, crazy. Okay, so then he comes up, okay, they got our insurance reinstated or whatever, and it's nothing to do with us. It's coming from his company, held out of our paycheck, and, So then he said, he was talking back and forth with the guy, and the guy never would get back with him. He's supposed to have everything to him like this Friday or that Friday of that week, and Friday came around and he didn't get back with him. And then, I don't know, eventually he got some insurance cards sent to him, or maybe he printed them out. I think he printed them out, and then they came in the mail. And they were for maybe United Healthcare insurance. I'm not sure. And so that's what we used at the hospital. When we went to the hospital, they had me back there in trauma. He was up there giving our new insurance card and such, right? Now, let's not forget I had surgery in October. I had doctor's appointments. That's not even covered because this new insurance was supposed to go back to November the 1st. Okay. Well, then this lady calls me, and then the doctor said something about insurance when she said I was, just got to let me go home. And I'm not sure what she said. I guess she said we don't have insurance, but I never fathomed that. Okay, so this lady says that we don't have any insurance, that it's kicking in. So I don't know if we have under this other company. So I told Big Day last night, I was like, I need to talk to the man because I've got way too much going on to be playing with insurance. Like, this has got to get settled. I've got surgery coming up December 16th. I need to know about insurance. And he's like, okay, I'll send you his information. So he did text me the guy's information to call him. I've called him all day long. It goes to voicemail. It don't look like he's going to call me back because it's getting later in the day. I don't know. So I got that I'm trying to deal with and try to get that straightened out. And I also have three more major concerns in our lives that is like just weighing on me. And you can say, don't worry about it. Give it to God. Don't worry about it. But I'm telling you, this is not something you cannot think about. All three things are not tiny things. They're very, very important. And so, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then just trying to maneuver around is a lot. Trying to do anything is a lot. Get something to drink. My stickers that I did back in, I don't know, was it June? I don't know when I put these on, but they're hanging on. This one right here is peeled up around the edges. That's the only one. The rest of them are hanging on. Done a video, in case you didn't know. I had done a video. I bought these sets of stickers at Hobby Lobby. They're called cold press. It's cold press vinyl sticker type things. They're already made out. Hobby Lobby, they're like $2.50 a package, and I got 2 of them, and I did 2 cups, and we were testing them to see how long that stuff lasts. And like I said, it is holding up very unbelievably well, except for this one sticker is come up around the edges a bit. So anyway, we did that back June or July maybe, I'm pretty sure, and we're just seeing how long this lasts. So when I'm drinking out of that cup, I always give an update. One of those, 2 of them I did. I always give an update so everybody knows, how long is that gonna last? Because after I'd done it, I was thinking, this at first I was like, I don't know, this ain't gonna last. But I think it is. I mean, it has for a good while. I think it's for $2.50, it's lasted more than I expected, right? So, what am I doing? I have my oxygen on, and I told you the kids fixed me this big, huge cord. I think they put 2 cords together, plus this. The other, it starts green in a little bit. Like I have white, and then we have green. Okay, so at least I can see the green on the floor and not the white, but it still gets tangled all up around my feet, wrapped around my legs. I feel like I'm like some kind of ballet dancer trying to get untangled. And then, so I have that on me. And then I have my feeding tube, which is in my stomach, and it is hooked right here. This is my feeding tube. This is my formula. right here in my pump, and the tube comes out of that and goes into my stomach. So I'm hooked to that. So I am, I'm sure it's situated. Thank you. Sorry. So I am dragging this huge cord around with me and getting all wrapped up in it, dragging that around with me, and it's getting tangled. The wheels of it's getting all tangled up in the cording, and so it is a lot. It really is. Yeah. And then I feel like I'm getting sick on top of that. I'm not sure about the lighting, but I really just didn't feel like going and getting a ring light and bringing it in here. It's in the dining room on the table, and I'd had to unplug it and bring it in here and find a place to plug it, and I just don't feel like doing that, so I didn't. So, yeah, what do I feel like doing? Nothing. But that's not me. I have to be doing something. So, you know what I think I'm going to do? I started out working on this. I want to make a Christmas art journal, and that's what I'm going to do. That's about the easiest thing for me to do. And so this is the cover of my book. I put it under that to help flatten it out because the watercolor, you know, made it pretty wrinkly and rough looking. But I put it under there to let it, I had dried it good and just put it under there to kind of flatten it out. So that is the cover of my book, and I'm going to decorate this to make it look like a Christmas house, gingerbread Christmas house or something. I don't know. And I'm going to be making pages for that for a book, but I don't have anything to make pages with right now. I have a lot of ideas. Like, my head is just overflowing with ideas. I got to get some, I don't know. I need some scrapbook paper, Christmas scrapbook paper, and some stuff kind of like that. So I want to work on that, and I'm just going to do some watercolor paints on watercolor paper, but I also want to tear some paper and put on there and just kind of make an art collage, mixed media, art journal, Christmas art journal. And so I vision it in my head. I just got to have my supplies to do it. But to make the pages, like I said, I gotta get a few more supplies for that. But I have things to put on the pages, so I don't. So what I'm going to do mostly this month is I'm going to be using my stencils, because I cannot draw like I used to, but I can make stencils. These are all from stencils. You might have seen them on a video. And then I watercolor painted them, and I'm still not finished because I have some detail I wanted to do on them, and, you know, fix them up a little more and add some stuff on their shirts or words or something, you know. So I'm going to be doing things like this and painting them, watercolor painting them, and then doodling on them and drawing on them and stuff like that. I think she's my favorite. I just like her. So I have stencils. I have, I want to do a whole bunch of Christmas trees to go in my Christmas tree art journal. So I've drawn out a bunch of tree shapes, and I'm going to be putting watercolor on these, letting them dry, and then I'm going to be cutting them out. There's some tree shapes. I have, let's put this right here so I don't get bent up. I have some other stencils that have trees. Let's see. That's not them. They're right here somewhere. Sometimes they hide from me. Sometimes I can't see them because this is what they look like. They're that color. And sometimes, depending on what they're laying on, they don't look... I don't see them. In January, we are going to the eye doctor, both of us, and doing all the eye stuff. And we have some things that we got to get done in January. But until then, I'm just blind as a bat. And sometimes when I'm tracing stencils, I can't even see. I can't see those, I can't see where I'm supposed to even draw the lines. I can't see the stencil on the white stencil on the white paper. So anyway, I have lots of stencils here of different things that, you know, I want to use to make an art journal. But before I can make an art journal, I got to make these things up. I'm just going to make a bunch of these. And then later on in the month, I'm going to get my pages together as I feel better and I'm able to go to town and get some things that I need. I could go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and look at the Christmas scrapbook paper and see what I can come up with. And then I'll just put the book together at the end. My thoughts were originally that I was going to do a page a day throughout the month. That's not happening. That is not happening in this world. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking I wasn't fixing to get sick and have all this mess to happen. But it has. It's rained here all night and it's kind of cool. Like 42 degrees and raining. It rained all night long and it's real drizzly and dark out there today. So, yeah. I was going to tell you about this right here. This is my cup I have used for art for 20 years or so. Seriously. It's got paint. I don't know if you can see inside it. It's got paint all in it, you know, and I just rinse it out and add water to it. And I use that as my paint. And then when I'm not using it or hadn't been using it, it has been in my art cabinet, which is right here behind my desk here. I have been, you know, I've used this forever. Anyway, just now, before I started the video, because I wasn't sure if I was going to paint while I did the video or if I was just going to talk to you guys or what. And so I got this cup. It was on my desk. I went in there and I washed it out real good and I filled it with water. And Sassy was in there watching it. Sassy is my black cat. She was in there watching me. And then I come out of the bathroom, which is just right here. It's right here behind me. I came out of there and set this over here on the desk. And Sassy just ran and jumped up there real fast and started drinking out of it. As if I had just fixed her a glass of water. I was like, get out of that, Sassy. She acted like I just fixed her a glass of water. Silly cat. Anyway. Yeah, that's what's going on with me. I'm going to be doing some watercolor painting and just trying to relax. I can't just sit in that chair in there in my recliner and do nothing. First off, I got to move around because my tailbone starts hurting. So if I get up and come to the bathroom and then come sit in here for a little bit, and then I can get up and go to the bathroom and then go sit in there for a little bit, and I just do that. If I do that throughout the day, I'm fine. Big Daddy fixed my chair so it doesn't sink down every time I sit in it. I got my friend Sandy worked on it. Elijah worked on it, and Zeke worked on it. They all had the chair all the way down. And I'm like, no, I can't sit with my knees way up. I mean, I got to have the chair up and my legs down. And I don't know, people don't understand that or what, but finally, I told Big Daddy, I said, look, I don't have anywhere to sit. I'm going to have to take your desk chair. We're going to have to swap chairs because I can't sit in that low chair like that. And so he wasn't supposed to give up his desk chair. So he come got my chair and took it in there and fixed it. Cleaned all the yarn out of the wheels and everything. So I got my chair fixed so I can sit here. Sorry, didn't mean to like get up in your face. So I can sit here and relax. It is comfortable to sit here, so I'm good. I was really upset about my chair not having somewhere to sit. comfortable and all that. I don't know. I don't know where to put that light. I really need one over here, but I just didn't feel like it. But anyway, tell me what's going on with you. Enough about me. I'm sick of talking about me. Tell me what's going on with you. What kind of project are you working on today? And we're started December, so let's talk about December. What happens in December? Well, some people have birthdays in December. My son Elijah has a birthday coming up the 10th of December. And then we will see him at Christmas. So I hope to celebrate his birthday the day before Christmas if he gets in time or what. We don't know schedules yet. And then we'll have Christmas while he's here. I have a lot of doctor's appointments, I believe. Unfortunately, I have surgery on December 16th, and I have some doctor's appointments scattered throughout the month. And then in January, I have to see the cardiologist and the pulmonary, the lung doctor. I have those appointments already scheduled for January. So I have a doctor's appointments coming up. But there's Christmas. That's happening whether we're ready for it or not, okay? Before I got in the hospital, I was going to say before I got sick, but I wasn't sick. I'm just not getting sick today. I do it backwards. I go to the hospital not sick and then get sick later. So before Thanksgiving, we did try to get a lot of our shopping done around town. We mainly shopped Ollie's. I still have an Ollie's shop with me video to get out. We went to Ollie's 4 times in 3 days, okay? They had some good deals. And we would, every time we go, we didn't go and do the whole store. We would go and do this part of the store, and then we'd have to leave. And then we would go back and do another part of the store, and then, leave. We did that. And sometimes, though, I would see something and not get it, and then I would think about it, and I was like, we better go on back and get that, because Ollie's is the type of store that if you don't get it when they have it, when you go back the next week, they probably won't have it, because they get stuff from other stores and not necessarily, it's not their merchandise. They don't have it all the time. When it runs out, it runs out. So anyway, Ollie's their slogan is good stuff cheap. And it is. We did almost all of our Christmas shopping there. And we did that last year too. We just found like Dakota. They just happened to have a whole bunch of shirts in his size. So we got him a bunch of shirts. And I told Dakota, I said on the phone, I'm not going to overdo it for Christmas this year, because I've been known to do that sometimes. I love giving to my kids and giving to other people and just watching people open gifts. I do. I love that. And so I said, I'm not going to overdo it this year. And then we went to Ollie's and I bought him 6 shirts. So I texted him that night. I said, I'm not going to overdo Christmas this year. Also, I just bought you 6 shirts. Because that's the way it is, right? But they had a lot of good deals. I got each of the 4 kids, each one a family size blanket. And I'm just thinking, it's going to be a big blanket. They can snuggle up with it and wrap up in it and all that, So I got them each one. Later, I read on the package that's 120 inches. That's a king-size bed, my friend Angela said. So that's big enough. They could cut that up and make dog blankets if they wanted to, because it's huge. So I got each one of them a blanket, and I think they were like $20 for this fleece 120 by 120 inch blanket. And I got them soup bowls. They had 2 a set of 2 soup bowls that have a saying on them for like $4.99. I mean, I'll show you in the video, but $4.99, $5 for 2 soup bowls. And so I bought 2 different ones, and so all 4 of them have a bowl. And just stuff like that, you know. We got a lot of our Christmas shopping done, and I was trying to get it done before Black Friday, because I knew once Black Friday hit, I don't want to go out and fight the people in the crowds in the stores. Although I want to support a brick and mortar store as much as I can for the employees' sake. I want to support local stores, even if it's a chain store. I want to support them as much as I can because of the employees, you know, the cashiers. That's their job. And I don't want stores to shut down and people lose their jobs. But also, I have to order online too. I just can't, you know, continue to go to town and get things that I need. And sometimes you can't find things in town and you have to order online. And, you know, people who are sick and can't go to town, they got to order online. And it's just convenient to order online, right? COVID set us up for that. It just it's convenient to order online. And while that is very convenient, and I do it, and I enjoy getting my packages just brought to my house, also, I hate it for the cashiers and employees in the stores because I feel like I'm taking their job away from them. And I hate that, you know. And you know what I'm saying? Does anybody else get that? I just feel like I'm hurting them. I don't know. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. But sometimes you just got to do what's easiest for you. And that's the thing too. I don't know. Several of you guys had mentioned that when we were talking about changing our pharmacy, because supposedly the insurance that we might have or might not have doesn't use Target and CVS, and we have always used Target and CVS because it's close to our house and it's convenient just to get in and out. And so we could either use a Walgreens, but there's not a Walgreens anywhere close to my house. That would be like in the next town over, probably. I think. I'm not sure where one is in my town, but I know where one is in another town. That's not convenient, not at all. So we were thinking maybe we would use the Walmart, not the Supercenter, because that pharmacy line is always long and backed out into the store. And so we was thinking about using the little Walmart neighborhood market with the pharmacy that's close by the college, which is only a couple miles further than Target. So a lot of people said you use Walmart and they'll deliver your medications. I wish we were that easy. We make everything so hard. Y'all come up with the most wonderful ideas, and I'm like, that is awesome. And it just doesn't turn out like that for me because they will not deliver refrigerated medications. And so Big Daddy has refrigerated medications, his insulin and stuff. And also I have a lot of refrigerated medications, liquids, for because my meds go through my feeding tube. And so, yeah, they won't be delivering our medications. They could deliver my prednisone, but nothing ever works out easy for me. Do you ever feel that? Do you ever feel like that for yourself? That just, if there's a hard way or easy way, you're going to have to do it the hard way because the easy way is just not going to work. Yeah. So, sounds like somebody's coming. I was looking to see. I'm turned wrong in my desk. Normally I'm sitting like this and I'm working on stuff here and the camera's up here watching me. And I can see my screen and all. It sounds like a huge truck coming down the road. And I don't know. I don't see it, but I hear it. So anyway, I'm turned this way today. And I don't know where the huge truck is that's coming, but it's coming. It's raining. It's raining out there right now. I was going to tell you some other things too. Oh, yesterday. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for your concern and your tips and your suggestions. Like I said, sometimes it just don't work out for us because we have to do everything the hard way. We're not going to do anything easy. But I did try to explain yesterday. A lot of people were telling me, you know, to get a bedside toilet. Some people were getting kind of fussy. I love you. I love you. And I know you're just concerned about me and want to suggest things to make life easier for me. But unfortunately, I don't know where this truck is, but I hear it. Unfortunately, that would make life harder for me. It would not make life easier for me. And so I said yesterday that, you know, read between the lines, but I don't think some people read between the lines. I said that I cannot have a bedside toilet, although I sleep in the living room. I can't have a living room toilet or anywhere else in my house. I have to come use my bathroom toilet. And so, and I was trying to explain why without just coming right out and saying it, but I did put the words up on the screen. And so still some people thought, you know, oh, I'm the same way. I don't like to use the bathroom uptown either. Because I said if I use the bathroom uptown, I try not to. But if I have to, then I have to come home and get a shower. Okay, so read between the lines. And so a lot of people say, you know, oh, I don't like to use the bathroom uptown either. I know what you mean. I like to use my own bathroom. I don't like to use the bathroom in town. That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it for me. My toilet has a bidet. Do you know what a bidet is? Google that. A potty, bedside toilet, commode, potty, toilet, whatever. They do not have a bidet. I have to have a bidet, okay? If I was to use a bedside potty, I'd have to come use the shower. I'd have to come shower then. It's not going to work for me. I'm not being stubborn. I'm just telling you, I have to use my toilet with a bidet. I can't use any other toilet. Like I said, I do go uptown sometimes. And when I get home, I get a shower. I have to come straight home and get a shower. Even when I don't feel like getting a shower. If I had a toilet in there, and I used that toilet, I'd have to come get a shower. I have to have the bidet, okay? Just read between the lines. It's things like that. People never think about that. People never think about that. You know, people say things like, well, why don't you do this? That's why. Why don't you do that? You don't think about that. And Big Daddy don't either. He says stuff all the time too. The Amazon brought a package and left it on the doorsteps, and they left it one doorstep down. And so to get it, I was going to have to bend down further than my feet. Okay, I'm doing good to touch my toes. I'd have to bend down further than my feet, under my feet, to the next step down and get the package. And so I told Big Daddy, I said, can you get that package? They put it too low and I can't bend down that far to get it. And he said, well, you can get the grabber. No, I can't. I can't use a grabber. You have to squeeze that thing. You have to squeeze the handle to make that tight to pick up packages or pick up whatever. I can't squeeze that. I don't have the fingers to do it. I mean, but he says stuff all the time, and I'm like, of all people, you live with me. You see me try to do stuff, and you know my limitations, but he still says stuff like that. So don't feel bad about suggesting anything like that. Please do not feel bad about that, because if the man that's living with me forgets, surely you're going to forget too, right? Because you're not living with me. And something else I want to say. When I say I can't do something, it's not me being lazy saying I don't want to do it, or it's me saying I have tried over and over and over and I have to admit I can't do it. Because I'm not a person that says I can't. I can. I can crochet. I can make bracelets. I can do an art journal. I can do this. I can do that. I'm not one that says I can't. If I was that person, I'd be sitting in that chair in there bored out of my mind, not doing nothing, in a sobbing, depressed state of mind. I try to do any and everything I can for myself. The things I can't do, I have to ask for help. And I don't like asking for help. I don't like asking Big Daddy for help. I'm hesitant even asking Paige for help on things, but that's my sitter that comes and helps me every day for about 2 hours. That's about all I can afford to pay her, is 2 hours a day, and that adds up to a good bit per month. And that's about all she could stay anyway, because she has a lot going on too in her life. But anyway, I have her coming 2 hours a day, and she does my formula and stuff like that, because I can't. I was doing it when I had this finger and this pinky. It wasn't so hard, but after I lost this pinky, it got harder. And then when I lost that finger, that last finger I had lost, I lost the ability to do a lot of things that I was once doing, right? And so when I say I can't do it, trust me, I have tried over and over and over and just could not figure out a way to do it. And so I have to say I can't. And that hurts me. It hurts me because I don't like to admit I can't do something. I've always been a very independent person who, I can do it. Yeah, I can do that. And if somebody said I couldn't do something, I'm like, watch me. If Big Daddy said, there ain't no way that's going to work, I'm like, oh yeah, watch. So, I just wanted to say that I am a I can person. I'm not an I can't person. And I hate to say that, but there's some things I can't do. My feeding, doing my tubes and the syringe, and doing my medications and stuff. I just can't do it. I make a huger. I make a huge mess that then I have to clean up. And so I already feel bad. And then I make this humongous mess and I have to wipe everything down, get the mop. And yeah, it creates a lot of work for me. It's unnecessary. So finally I was like, I just can't keep doing this because it's killing me trying to clean up the messes that I make trying to do it. And so that kind of stuff, so I just had to get Paige to come and help me, and thankfully she does, and I appreciate her all the way. I mean, I really do appreciate her so much. Anyway, I'm just rambling and talking and just spending time with you guys. I am going to sit here today. After I do this video, finish this video, I'm going to go potty. Because my Lasix is working. And that's one reason why I do need to sit in here. Because I need to be close to the bathroom. So I'm going to sit in here where I'm close to the bathroom. Because my Lasix is kicking in pretty good. And then I'm going to put some watercolor on these. And probably draw out some more stencils and watercolor paint. And just relax, because this is relaxing sitting here. I'm not overexerting myself. I can put a movie on my screen here. I can still see the internet over here, and I have my security screens in the middle. I have something to drink. And so I can just sit here and watercolor paint and doodle and stuff like that. And like I said, I want to make up a whole bunch of little motifs and have so that I can create pages with it. I have some ideas of little motifs I want to make. And I also have things like this that I'm going to cut up and put in a Christmas art journal. This one here shows the 4 different Christmas tree cake boxes that we've had over the years. And here's one right here. And I'm going to cut these up and put them in an art journal. And just do stuff like that. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have fun. That's what I'm going to do. I can't think of anything else that I needed to tell you guys. But I do have some unspoken prayer requests. 4. Well, one of them is insurance. I spoke of that. Pray we get this insurance stuff straightened out. This is just, I don't know, I feel like fooling with that mess and dealing with it. And let me just tell you, Big Daddy is he's non-confrontational, and I'm not either to an extent, but there comes a point where you have to say, no, we need this done. And I can do that. Big Daddy obviously can't. He doesn't ever want to rock the boat or make anybody mad or, you know, be a problem or anything like that. And I'm like, I get it. But at some point, got to be a problem to get it fixed, okay? So I'm working on the insurance. Well, I say I'm working on it. I've made a couple of calls. I've made 3 or 4 calls today and gotten nowhere with it. So I'm going to keep doing that until I get in touch with our agent or whatever he is. I don't know. And then I have 3 other unspoken but very, very important prayer requests, okay? Just cover me and Big Daddy in prayer. And also for wisdom to know how to handle some situations and know what to do. Because there's very serious, very, 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 very serious concerns. So I have all that on me on top of being sick. And now, you know, on top of my chronic illness, and now that I feel like I'm getting sick. Okay, so yesterday, my doctor and Jody bullied me. I know a lot of people get the flu vaccination every year. They get the flu vaccine and they're fine and all that. Well, a long time ago, I got the flu vaccine and I was so deathly sick. I could not even get out of the bed. I was so sick. And so I was like, I'm not getting that shot anymore. Even though they say it doesn't make you sick, whatever. I'm glad it don't make a lot of people sick. But for me, I can only speak from my experience. It makes me sick. Okay, so then years went by, and I got bullied into taking it again, and I ended up really, really sick again. I'm talking like in the bed sick. And so, even though people said, oh, it can't make you sick, it don't make you sick. Big Daddy gets one every year. He never gets sick from it. That's awesome. I'm so happy for him. So my doctor started in on the flu vaccine. I was like, I don't want to. I don't. Because I want to get better and not get sick. And he's like, I'm like, just trust me. He's like, okay. What about the pneumonia vaccine? I'm like, dang it. And I was like, well, I mean, I just had pneumonia. And he's like, well, you can get it again. You need this. And Big Daddy's over here saying, you need to get it because I almost lost you and I don't want to take that chance again. And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, y'all are bullying me. They bullied me into getting the pneumonia vaccine. I'm thankful that vaccine is out there. I really, really am. I know it helps a lot of people, whatever. I just think I have so much going on in my body. When you inject something like that in me, it just goes haywire. And a lot of things happen. I'm not normal. I've never been normal, and I'm never going to be normal. I'm not normal. And so somebody, you could take that shot and be perfectly fine. I could take that shot and I could get really sick. So I'm just at this point thinking, dang it, I shouldn't have gave in. I shouldn't have gave in. I shouldn't have let them bully me into doing something I didn't want to do. But I did. And if I get sick, I'm going to fuss at Big Daddy, and I'm going to march my fat butt up there and tell my doctor to tell him how sick I am because of that vaccine. It might not have nothing to do with it. Anyway, I just feel bad. I do. I love you all so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate your prayers. And please don't forget about our unspoken prayer request. That things just work out in some situations, and other situation that we just figure out what we need to do and such. All right, guys. I love you all. And remember, it is a beautiful day to crochet. It is raining here. And it's cold, but that's a beautiful day to crochet. Or in my case, I'm not going to crochet today. I just don't feel like it. Like I said, I don't feel like reading directions. I don't feel like following directions. I don't feel like anybody telling me what to do. And I feel like that's the way the directions would be doing me. And so I'm just going to smear some paint on some water. Water paint on some paper. And just, ever how it turns out, you know. I want to do different colored trees and just fun. Thank you. Thank you very much.